Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So, we were working on this Jon Boat series for a while, and now it is time to get with the trailer on this Jon Boat. So there's that boat behind me that I've been working on. And as I've said before, I'm not really familiar with Jon Boats or trailers or that kind of thing. I've just been in doing kayaks and canoes my whole life. So this is all new to me, and I am looking for some comments that you have on what I've been doing, anything I could do better. So this trailer is, I think it's original with the boat. I'm not too sure. The boat, I found out, is 1958, and this trailer is quite old, so it needs some work. So let's take a closer look and I'll show you what I got. All right, so here you go. Here's the trailer itself. I've done nothing to it since. It needs a lot of work, as you can see, but kind of the main parts are there. I think I'll do some work on the axles. That's kind of the big question mark for me. I'm not really familiar with boat axles. I may just get a new one from scratch. But as you can see, it's got some of the bunks there with no carpet on them. And from what I can tell, I think these bunks should be longer. I don't think they stick out too far. I think they should be sticking out the back maybe another foot and a half or so. I'm also going to be redoing these boat guides. They're just, kind of junk welded onto the frame, and I'm just going to probably cut those off and get some other ones that kind of bolt on with the U-bolt to the frame, and that way I can put the lights down deeper, down on the bottom of the trailer, and those those guides could actually, the PVC could actually roll on the guides. So we're going to redo that. Going to be really just taking a wire brush to some of these, redoing the bunks with new carpet, which I've got. Probably going to keep this the hand crank here and the winch, probably just clean it up, take the rust off, grease it up, stuff like that. It works fine. It's just, doesn't look nice. Next step, I'll be kind of taking this apart, and you'll be seeing me in the shop with the new bunks. All right, this is the bunks of the trailer, and I have both of them, for comparison. The one on the far end there is the original, and this is the new one here. So you could see that the original was attached to these adjustable, height things, brackets, but they aren't really adjustable because the guy welded them all on to the trailer previously, so I can't really adjust them. And what's happening is the boat is touching in the back, but it's not touching in the front, and I really need to raise these up a little bit to make it a nice even adjustment, or nice even glide onto the trailer, because what's happening is when it hits that middle one, it kind of bangs into that and then goes up. So I want to raise these a little bit, and my idea was to just add a block underneath. So I'm going to be working on attaching this and then covering everything in carpet. And you can see the back end here that I extended it out further, so these are 1.5 feet longer than the old one. So I'm hoping this would help support the transom better, so the boat's not hanging off the back. And then also, I'm not sure what this is. Maybe this was a roller and it just got banged into or something. But I think having the bunks a little further will allow the boat to get on these before banging into that. I may do something with that instead, but anyway, so that's kind of where we're at. So I used the glue for this, was just this Type Bond 3 waterproof glue. And then, I can't really tell, but I got some exterior grade deck screws. They're coated, so I was hoping they would last a little longer. And then I'm probably either going to paint or just coat this in like teak oil or something. I don't know. The plan is to just to keep the, maybe protect it a little bit longer. And then the other one had a bunch of beetles in it, or bees that got in there and started eating these, and that's what would definitely happen here if we just left these out. The carpet will probably keep them away, but maybe not, I don't know. Here is the middle bunk, and this is where the trailer attached. And this was just, carpeted. And because those lower bunks or those back bunks were so much lower, that the bow was ramming into this and kind of bumping up over it and then grinding on. That's why I see that this top is just so eat up. I'm hoping raising those back bunks will allow the boat to kind of just glide on top of this and not want to slam into it and then go up over. So that's what I've got here is the new one. And I'm also, this is flat, and the boat is a V-hull in the front, and I'm wanting to try to make a way for the bow to kind of want to go straight. So I'm thinking about adding another piece on top and coming up with some sort of V shape, so when the boat drives on, it kind of wants to center itself. Going from here, we can kind of do like a bit of an angle. All right, this is what we got. Maybe I'll test it out. Maybe in the future I might need more, more pronounced angle to it. Or maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these tops on and then screw them in, making sure the screws don't touch where these bolts are going to want to go right in here. All right, time for the last bunk. This is the front. I don't know if you call it a bunk. It's just a stop for the boat. This is where the front bow of the boat meets. This is the back of it where it attached to the trailer. But the boat hits here, and you can tell where the boat has hit there over and over again because the boat itself is kind of dented right there. So I cut a shorter piece. It's 12 inches, just a little bit longer than the bracket. And then, the boat is going to be nose in right here, kind of, right in the middle, and it's a pretty sharp, V for the boat. And so I want to do another, instead of just a flat board, same thing, kind of help pull in the boat a little bit. So I made up these ramps. They're more pronounced, so it's going to sit something like this. It's going to have a bit of a gap in it, or probably should just get them together like that. Actually, glue them together and glue them to the board, just to kind of seal it up a little bit. So that way, when the boat comes in, it's not the perfect shape of the boat. Boats are kind of like a little narrower, but it'll help guide the boat into. Finished up with the carpeting. It took about maybe a little less than an hour to put together, and not too bad. First time doing it. So here's the long bunks. I just kind of wrapped them like a cylinder basically, but did not cover this kind of bump out here that's going to be kind of that raises the front end, because you won't see it really. It's going to be underneath way down low on the trailer. The second one I did was the middle one, and I wanted this middle piece to be all one piece. So that way if the boat hits this, and I didn't want it to hit on a seam and, you know, rip it off. So by doing that though, it kind of, you know, you kind of get to see these little exposed pieces here. So not too much of a fan of that. But the bracket that it attaches to is like this Y bracket, so maybe it'll cover it. And then this is the front kind of bow bracket that the boat runs into. And so wrapped it from the bottom, and then this is a separate piece along the front that I just cut a strip and stapled it in. So that's going to attach like this. So I think it just does, they turned out pretty good, you know, for the first time, let's say. Finished up the trailer prep ready for paint, so I was able to get a rag with some degreaser and kind of wipe it all down. I was able to get all of the kind of the flakes of the old paint off and kind of just get all the dirt as best I could. Then I hit it with the drill with the wire wheel to kind of get some of the particularly rusty places kind of knocked down. Then hit it with 220 sandpaper just by hand, just hitting it just to kind of like rough it up a little bit, get some more of the flaking paint off as best I could. And then wiped it down again, so it's kind of ready for paint. And I'm going to use this Rust-Oleum high performance enamel. I used this on the camper, like the underside of the camper in my previous videos, and it's been several years and it's worked well, so I'm going to try it for this. You know, it's not the best paint job, but you know, ideally you want to get all this stuff but down to metal and then start over, prime it and all that, but you know, I don't got time for all that. So today we're just going to do this. Probably gonna do maybe 2-3 coats. We'll see how it goes, and go from there. So next step is painting this trailer. We're back on this trailer on this rainy day. I wheeled it in the barn here. I'm gonna put this new tongue on the what do you want to call this? The catch that goes onto the hitch, because the old one wasn't, it was all rusty and just wasn't operating really well. And so instead of cleaning it up, I decided just to get a new one, just, you know, again, another peace of mind thing. Oh my gosh, success, jeez. That wasn't too easy. Here's the first test fit with the boat on it. I need to put the winch on, but I got the tongue all repaired with the chains. This is how that V-shape fits. See, it's a little wider, but I think that'll work. Then it's sitting on the bottom there. And then these bunks, it actually is, oh, you probably can't see that really well, but it's sitting on there pretty good. It's all solid front to back. and in the back it sticks out past the end of the boat. The next step is putting the lights on. And so I got these submersible lights and brackets, and I could not find an easy way to mount them. I was thinking something like this, but it's pretty even with the bunk, and I think the boat, if I get off to the side or something, it might hit the light and damage it. So I wanted them lower down, and I don't know, I couldn't find an easy way to do it, so I ended up just making this bracket. It's just a piece of metal that I painted a couple of coats. So we'll see if it lasts. It's just a way to get this bracket further away from the suspension here and other parts. So I'm able to kind of extend it with this bracket out like this. So I'm going to bolt it with these stainless bolts and nylon lock washers or nylon nuts, so I can hopefully they don't back off and the light fall off. And then after that, I'm going to wire it up. So I have I ran the wiring harness through the center pipe of the trailer, and that was kind of tedious, but got that done. And so it's your brown and yellow is your left side, and the brown and the green is your right side. And that's so you can have running lights and blinkers and brake lights. So that's going to plug into these red and black wires. And the white is for a ground, and they have a different end on it. It kind of comes like that, so you can ground it back here. But I think I'm going to do something different. I ran a white wire through that center, and I'm going to attach these ground wires to that, and with a butt connector and heat shrink, and try to get it as watertight as I can, and then have that ground way up at the front of the trailer, so that way it's not underwater all the time, and hopefully that ground connection kind of lasts longer when you have that bare metal on to the wire. Well, here it is all buttoned up. So this is the bracket with the light on there. So it's bolted to the frame, and then the light is bolted to it, and it's pretty solid. So I don't think that's going anywhere. We'll see about that. And then here's all the wiring. I put some heat shrink and some zip ties to kind of keep it together and to protect the that connection so it doesn't get water in it. I don't know if you can see up under here is, just kind of zip tied up, and it goes into the center pipe there to go to the front of the trailer. And I put some tape around there where it goes into the pipe, and I kind of pushed up in there an extra 8 inches of wire just up in that pipe just to have some extra slack for later on. And then this is the end with the the trailer connection. So I put a little plastic wire protector on it, and then this is the ground from the connector, and then this other one is the ground that I connected all the grounds from all the lights in the back, and they are just bolted right here to the trailer in the front. Hopefully this is just more visible, and I can see when this is corroded more versus there in the back. So I think that's about it. I think we're about done. I still got to work on the wheels, so that's probably gonna be a separate video, but right now I'm just gonna get this pretty much ready to go. I gotta put the wheels on to replace the tires and do the bearings on that. But anyway, this is it for now. Kind of the most of the trailer finished, and I think it turned out pretty good. So I appreciate you sticking around for this video, and I'll see you on the next one.